The Great Wars, a deep dive into World War II and its impact. It was the 1st of September in 1939. In Poland, you were going about your everyday activities when all of a sudden, the air raid sirens sound. Building starts to collapse, bombs starts dropping from the sky, and the anarchy breaks out in the streets. The 6-year war that will claim the lives of nearly 70 million people and change the course of history irrevocably is just getting started. So what caused this tragic occurrence? How did everything happen? And from what lessons may we draw? Let's find out. Welcome to this in-depth look into World War II, one of the most important and devastating moments in human history. Global conflict shook the world to its very foundation, leaving behind a legacy of devastation, loss, and destruction that is being felt today. From the upward shove of Nazi Germany to the bombing of Pearl Harbor, from the battles of Stalingrad to the seashores of Normandy, the war's effect is felt in every nook of the globe. So join us as we explore the causes, events, and penalties of this world-changing event and study how it has fashioned the world we live in today. The Treaty of Versailles, which was once signed at the cease of World War I, imposed heavy reparations on Germany and severely confined its navy capabilities. These led to resentment and monetary worry in Germany, which paved the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. Hitler exploited the people's grievances and promised to restore Germany to its former glory. In 1933, Hitler grew to end up the Chancellor of Germany and shortly consolidated his power, dismantling the Weimar Republic and putting up a dictatorship. He embarked on an advertising marketing campaign of aggressive expansion, annexing Austria and aspects of Czechoslovakia and subsequently invading Poland in 1939, which sparked the opening of World War II. The Nazi ideology was once primarily based on racism, anti-Semitism, and excessive nationalism, and it led to the persecution and murder of heaps of people, which encompassed Jews, Romani, disabled individuals, and others who had been deemed undesirable. The Holocaust, which used to be the systematic extermination of Jews, stays one of the darkest chapters in human history. The Allied powers, which blanketed the United States, Great Britain, the Soviet Union, and different countries, shaped in response to the Axis powers, led the use of Germany, Italy, and Japan. The Allies confronted large challenges, such as the fall of France in 1940 and the bombing of Great Britain during the Battle of Britain. However, the tide started to flip in 1942 with the Battle of Stalingrad, which marked the first main defeat of the Axis of powers in the war. The Soviet Union, under the administration of Joseph Stalin, created out a big role in defeating Germany on the Eastern Front. Meanwhile, the Allies launched the D-Day invasion of Normandy in 1944, which opened a second front in Europe and led to the liberation of Paris. The United States' entry into the Battle of 1941 used to be a turning point, as the country's industrial would possibly and huge assets help to tip the balanced choice of the Allies. The struggle in Europe received right here to end in 1945 with the fall of Berlin and Germany's surrender. The struggle in Europe used to be marked through the usage of some of the most brutal and brilliant battles in history. The Battle of Stalingrad, which lasted from August 1942 to February 1943, used to be as soon as a turning factor in the war, as the Soviet Union defeated Germany's try to catch the city. The struggle has been as soon as fought in freezing temperatures and resulted in massive casualties on every side. The D-Day invasion of Normandy, which took the location on June 6, 1944, used to be a massive amphibious assault that involved increased than 150,000 troops and loads of ships and aircraft. The invasion used to be a success, and it opened a 2D front in Europe, which helped to defeat Germany. The fall of Berlin in 1945 marked the stop of the hostilities in Europe. The Soviet Union captured the city after a brutal battle, and Germany surrendered on May 7, 1945. The battle in Europe had claimed the lives of heaps and hundreds of human beings and left heaps of the continent in ruins. The fighting in the Pacific was once fought between the Allied powers, led with the aid of the use of the United States, and the Axis powers, led with the resource of Japan. The Pacific theater used to be as soon as marked through some of the most ferocious and bloody battles of the war. The assault on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941 used to be a shock assault on the usage of Japanese that led to the United States' entry into the war. The assault resulted in widespread damage to the U.S. Navy's Pacific Fleet and led to an announcement of conflict by using the United States. The Battle of Midway in June 1942 used to be as soon as a sizable turning factor in the Pacific theater. In the United States, the utilization of genius gained with the help of breaking Japanese codes, being in a position to ambush the Japanese fleet, and prevailing in a decisive victory. This marked the first time the Japanese had been defeated in an essential battle. The Battle of Okinawa, which took the neighborhood from April to June 1945, used to be one of the bloodiest battles of the war. The United States, searching to set up a base shut to the Japanese mainland, launched a massive amphibious assault on the island. The hostilities resulted in substantial casualties in every aspect, and the United States suffered heavy losses due to the kamikaze attacks. The Manhattan Project was once a top-secret lookup mission that aimed to expand the first atomic bomb. The project used to be led with the aid of the United States and involved some of the world's scientists, including Albert Einstein. The venture was once initiated in 1939, and through the use of 1945, the United States had successfully developed 2 atomic bombs. On August 6, 1945, the United States dropped the first bomb, nicknamed Little Boy, on the Japanese city of Hiroshima. 3 days later, the second bomb, nicknamed Fat Man, used to be dropped on the city of Nagasaki. The bombings resulted in the deaths of estimated 200,000 people, basically civilians, and led to Japan's giving up on August 15, 1945. The use of atomic weapons marked a big turning point in world's records and ushered a new technology of nuclear finger race in international relations. The end of World War II marked the establishment of a new era in world history. The warfare had claimed the lives of tens of millions of human beings and left a good deal of Europe and Asia in ruins. The United Nations is established in 1945 to promote global cooperation and prevent future wars. The post-war years have been marked using the usage of sizable changes in the international stability of power. The United States emerged as the dominant superpower, and the Soviet Union emerged as a rival power, major to the Cold War. The hostilities additionally led to the decolonization of many countries as former colonies sought independence. The struggle had a profound impact on society and culture as well. The Holocaust and special atrocities devoted to some factor in the war led to a new interest in human rights and the favor of international law. The battle, moreover, led to the considerable technological advancements, including the improvement of jet engines, radar, and computers. The legacy of World War II continues to form the world today. The United Nations stays a key participant in international affairs, and the world balance of electrical energy continues to shift. The hostilities additionally led to the institution of Israel and the ongoing hostilities in the Middle East. The wars have an effect on society, and the way of life can nonetheless be felt today, with many international locations nonetheless grappling with the legacy of colonialism and the favor for large equality and social justice. The hostilities additionally led to the huge tendencies in medicine, technology, and science which proceed to structure our world today. World War II was once a defining second in world archives that had far-reaching consequences. The hostilities led to the deaths of tens of millions of people, considerable technological advancements, and a new international order. Its legacy continues to shape the world these days and remind us of the preference for peace, cooperation, and perception between nations. It's vital to take into action the instruction of history so we can work closer to a higher future. If you do love this video, make sure to subscribing to our channel for greater thought-provoking content, and do not forget to hit the like button and share with your friends. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.